going to talk about the end of day process from a PC perspective. So the first thing you're going to want to do when you're ready to do your end of day is go to your Management tab in Clinic Server and click the End of Day icon, and you're ready to start. The first report is the Incomplete Mandatory Fields report. It's going to tell you any active patients that have incomplete mandatory fields. It will tell you the number of clients in the report and how many treatment plans correspond to those clients. One column that you can add to make it a little easier is the file creation column. So some clinics may have a very large number of clients with missing fields, and this is okay. The main thing you want to be doing is focusing on not letting your list grow when you first migrate to Clinic Server. You want to make sure it stays the same, and as you get more comfortable, you can make sure to get it smaller as you go through time. So to add a column to any field, you can actually right-click one of the column headers, select columns ... and in this case we want to add the file creation column. So click that and press OK, and it has added this new column of when the file was created for the patient. If you click the column header once, it will sort it from earliest to most recent. If you click it one more time, it will sort it most recent to the later dates. When you first migrate, you want to focus on the more recent patients because you might have gotten some of this information when they were in, but you may not have had time to actually fix it at the time. So it will tell you where the incomplete field is located and which fields you need to collect from the patient, as well as the patient name. So we are using PT Health Moncton today as our example, and in this case they've only got about 22 clients in their incomplete mandatory fields report, and we're actually going to go in and fix one of them for the clinic. So Jesse Bull has some incomplete mandatory fields. If you knew his email address and his emergency relationship, you would want to select the patient, right-click, and say View Client Folder. When you're in the client folder, you can minimize your end of day. You don't need to close it so that we can go back to it when we're ready. So Jesse's missing fields will be indicated by the red. When you're ready to enter the info, you can select Edit Profile. In this case, we need his email. If they don't want to provide an email and they indicate that they don't have an email, you can enter no email at none.com. And in his emergency contact, we don't have a relationship. If the relationship to his emergency contact does not fall into one of these categories, you can choose Other. When you're finished, just make sure to save the profile. And you can go back to your end of day. If you click the refresh button, it will compensate for the changes you had just made, and now there are only 21 clients with incomplete mandatory fields. So as you know any information, you can continuously update these patients and your list should be getting smaller over time. When you're finished everything you can do in that report, you can click the Next button, or you can click the report you're ready to do. The next one is the clients with no future appointments. So this will pull from all active clients who don't have a future appointment. Another column that is good to add for this, again, if you right-click anywhere on the column header and select columns ... you can add any relevant columns that you would like to see. In this case, for the clients with no future appointments, the column last is best to look at. So I'll click last and press OK. So now you can click that column header once and then once more, and it'll show you the most recent time that the patient was in. So if you want, you can focus on people that were in today or yesterday. It will tell you the patient's name and their phone number so that you can be calling these patients and getting them back into the clinic for another appointment. If you do make any calls, just make sure you add it to the patient's communication log under their work orders and tasks for that treatment plan. When you've made any calls that you're going to make for that day, you can go on to the next summary, which is our attendance summary. So this is a very important summary to be completing each night. The first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that you've set all of the statuses for the day and charged all of the appointments. In the attendance summary, you are going to want to sort the S column first. To do this, click the S column header once. Next, you'll want to sort the C column. You can hold down your control button on your keyboard and click the column header once. Now you want to make sure that everybody has a set status and that everyone is charged who should be. If you have forgotten to set a status or it looks like an incorrect status, you can fix it right from here by setting the status. Or if you've forgotten to charge an appointment, you can charge it right from here as well. Once you've ensured that everyone has an appropriate status and charge symbol, you're going to want to look at the number of appointments and compare that to your provider day sheets. The easiest way to do this is sort your practitioner column once by clicking the column header, then holding the control button on your keyboard down and clicking the S column header once. You can now see all of the same practitioners' appointments grouped together nicely. First, you can look at the total number of appointments you had that day, compare it to your provider date sheets. Next, you can click and drag over all of the completed appointments for that day for one practitioner and hover over any column to see the number of appointments that they had seen that day. You can do this for each practitioner and just make sure that your numbers are matching. The next summary is our payment summary. This is where your payment totals will be, and you can compare these to your daily cash log and your Moneris printout. The first thing you're going to want to do is click your description column header once. This is going to sort it alphabetically. You can click and drag over the payment types. So in this case, we will look at the debit payments first. If you hover your mouse over the amount column, it will tell you the total amount you received for that payment type in that day. Do this for each payment type and compare it to your daily cash log. If anything looks correct, you're going to want to go back and fix it before completing your end of day. There is also a payment type drop-down. You can use this if you want to look at a specific payment type and you know what it is, but it may not be the best for your overall glance at the payments because there are so many options. The next thing you're going to want to do is look at your total amount of payments here at the bottom corner and compare it to your daily cash log. Your next summary is the financial summary. The best way to look at this is in Print Preview. You're going to want to make sure there are no appointment type charges. If there were, they would be at the very top here, and it would say appointment charges. If you have any appointment charges, you can stop what you're doing and find them. It will say which appointment type you charge, so you can find it from the attendance summary, and you're going to want to go back and fix that. When you're finished, you can click Done. You'll want to save your end of day as a PDF file and insert it into your end of day folder located on your desktop. When you have all of your files in your end of day folder, you'll want to make sure you have your daily cash log, your deposit, your end of day file, your Moneris printout, and your provider day sheets. When all of those are in the days folder, you're going to want to zip the folder. To do this, you can select the date, right click, say send to, and you're going to want to choose the compressed zipped folder. This is going to zip those files for you so that it's easier for your CTM to see when you've uploaded it to the task. When you're ready to attach the file to the end of day patient, you can search clients. The last name will be end of day, and the first name will be your location. We create these patients for you before you migrate, so they will all be set up. The only thing you need to do is attach the files to them. You're going to want to go to the Records tab. The treatment plan will be end of day. This will be there for you already. The work order and task is going to be end of day tracking, and every end of day file should go under this one work order, and this we have created for you as well. So this is where you're going to want to put all of your end of days. When you're ready to upload a new one, you're going to want to say add. You're going to want to select the department clinic team manager when you're ready to send it to your CTM. The task type is end of day package. The status should be task in progress. You should make the requested by date the date of the end of day that you're completing. In the details, you'll want to put the day of the end of day that you have finished and press OK. When you've created the task, you're going to want to right click, select attachments, and add the end of day zipped package that you had created from the desktop. When your CTM wishes you to change something on your end of day, you'll have to pull a task query in order to find which ones they have sent back. To do this, you're going to want to go to the Workflow tab, select Task. Under Type, you're going to want to choose End of Day Package. Under Status, you'll want to have Change Requested. Department will be Patient Coordinator, and make sure you have your location set. When that's all done, you can press Go. Each end of day package that has a change request will be listed here. If you click it, any details they have written will be in the details box. So you can look through those. You can look at the documents that are attached if you need to be reminded what was attached in case that was the error. So once you've found that, go ahead and make all those changes. When you're finished, you can right-click, edit the task, and make sure you send it back to the CTM and change the status back to task in progress so that the next time they pull their tasks, they know that they can look at it again to approve it. So we're going to look at a test scenario here and fix a few things right in there, and I'll show you how the best way to fix some common issues is in your end of day system. So in this case, the CTM has asked us to fix a few things in our attendance summary and our payment summary. If you know what date that needs to be fixed, you can go right to the end of day for that date, click the summary in question. The best way to sort this one, again, is to click the S column, hold your control key down, and click the C column. So it looks like we forgot a few things on this day. So it looks like we need to add a charge symbol to this patient since we already charged them. You need to select it, right-click, and hit charge. Make sure all of the information is accurate here, and the charge symbol will appear. For this person, we know that he was in on May 22nd. We just might have forgotten to put the status. You can right-click, set the status, and complete it. For this one, for Evangeline, I remember that she was in and she has been, I do need to charge her. If you see one that has 2 blank spots, it may be good if you don't remember off the top of your head, just to confirm with someone else that was there that day in the clinic to make sure she had come to the appointment, or call the patient if you're not 100% sure. But in this case, I do know that she was here, so I can set the status to complete, and I can go ahead and charge her. So now that all looks perfect. We're finished with that summary. And the next summary is our payment summary. In this case, the CTM has asked us why we have a MasterCard payment here and not in our daily cash log. So in this case, you would want to double check there with your Moneris report and make sure to tell your CTM which is correct if they hadn't looked on their own. So in this case, it was a mistake made in Clinic Server, and this needs to be a Visa payment. You can go to the patient's file, under their billing tab, select the payment, right-click, reverse payment, enter a refund description if applicable, and now you're going to just want to make sure you are posting a new payment if you need to be, and put the appropriate payment type. And if there was a receipt printout on the Moneris. Perfect. You can now refresh. It will show your reversal and the new payment for when the CTM is ready to look at it again. In your financial summary, the CTM had asked us to change our appointment charge, so it looks like we accidentally charged a massage appointment. So we can look at our attendance summary here. It was MTTP AX60. One indication that we have charged an appointment is here in the price column. There shouldn't be anything in this column. It should be in our procedure code column. So we're going to want to go to this patient's file. You're going to want to reverse the charge. Take a look at the appointment in question and make sure there was a procedure code with it. So in this case, it doesn't look like there was. What you're going to want to do is select the appointment, right-click, go to the attachments, into the Procedures tab, right-click and add a procedure. You can start typing the proper code, and when you do that, change it to a session. The proper price will be populated. You can press OK, and you can charge it again right from here. So once you're finished all of your corrections, you're going to want to go back and task your end of day package back to the CTM so that they know you've fixed everything, they can double check it, and then they can approve it so the billing department can take a look. It's very important for our PT Health processes for everyone to be doing their task query as often as they can, especially for your change requested end of day packages. If you could do that as often as possible, this way you can catch it as soon as it happens. As soon as your CTM tasks it back to you, you can be checking the next day hopefully, and you'll be able to make those changes whenever you have the time, hopefully within the same day, and then we can get the process moving. So just make sure you're doing those change request task queries so that everyone knows where the end of day package is in the process, and your CTM, once you've made the changes, will be able to approve it, and then billing can go ahead and do what they need to do. So this is everything we need to talk about for the end of day from a PC perspective. If you have any questions about the processes, you can email us at clinicserversupport@pthealth.ca or give us a call.